Hello, everybody. We're here with the Keep It Rollin' podcast. We just got done with our, we're at our Wednesday training session.
This is a rare
This is our first Wednesday training podcast.
What we're realizing is we're just going to do every day of the week.
Every day we're thinking. I'm Kyle Perkins. I'm here with Joey Deal.
Always.
And we're back with Jay Perez.
Ooh.
I can get it right the second time.
Second time.
Wait, but you called his first name wrong.
Oh, no. Joey, the second Joey we have.
JJ
Awesome.
Perez.
There it is.
Awesome. So we just got done with our Wednesday class.
So this is a little different episode. We're not really, it's not like the traditional model that we usually had, but I felt like we needed to do a podcast.
Yeah, we needed to get one done.
And maybe it's just because I'm addicted.
Right?
Well, I think a little bit because Joey's addicted, but it's a good thing to be addicted to the podcast. The main reason we were talking about, we told you guys that we are going to do a podcast with Steve on Sunday. We weren't able to do that. We kind of missed that. He just kind of had some stuff going on. So we still wanted to get something done for you, and then we just rescheduled that podcast, hopefully for next Sunday.
This
Sunday coming up. You never know how things are going to go, but that's probably going to work out really well.
Why don't we start with that with Steve?
Yeah. So
we had planned to go do a podcast with Steve. I brought all our equipment. We were all excited about it. Almost like an ambush. We were going to ambush him and try to jump on that. We're texting him. We're having a conversation about it. And, and Steve, he's going through some health problems. And, he was saying he was tired. We didn't want to push him.
Yep.
We pushed a little bit. We were like, come on, man. Like, come on. We want to have some fun, hang out with you.
We pressed as much as was reasonable.
And I felt like me and Kyle were talking to each other separately. And we're like, I think we should probably just accept that he's not going to
let the man go home. Yeah.
He wants to sleep.
Yep.
But what was cool is, so that was Sunday. Yesterday was Tuesday.
Yep.
And we did a really cool event at Team Curran in Crystal Lake.
Yep.
And we were there for Steve to get his purple belt.
Yeah, it was really, really cool to see Steve actually make it to that achievement. So very cool. Congratulations, Steve. Yeah, so huge group of people to see Steve actually get his purple belt, and it's been a long journey for Steve. It's not a small achievement for anybody, and Steve's definitely earned it, in a different way than some other people. But Steve's definitely put in the time.
And it goes into a really big conversation about what is a promotion, what do you have to do, what are the criteria, because certainly he doesn't meet certain criteria. If your only criteria for whether someone's a purple belt or not is whether you have a really good guard that is impassable, or good submissions from your legs, like triangles. Steve doesn't have that in his toolbox anymore.
Yep.
And you start to realize, at the end of the day, it's really not even about the actual jiu-jitsu. When you think about the criteria, at least in my head, for Steve,
yep,
it was really more about what he's done, on and off the mat, what he's done to inspire people
to get to the mat.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
that's a big thing.
There's no one in the world I've ever met, in all my, almost 20 years now. I've been training jiu-jitsu, 18, 19 years. I've never met someone who's been so committed, even when things are really, really difficult. And there's a lot of people like that. I've got some really cool stories when I think about it of people who really defied, difficulty and made it to the mat, made it to jiu-jitsu consistently. But Steve's a very special story.
Yeah, he just makes it work no matter what.
Always, yeah. I mean, since even when he first started, so it's really, I think it's a well-earned promotion in its own special way, which is really, it was just really cool to be there.
Yeah, so it was really cool. So yeah, Steve got his purple belt in front of a bunch of people. He gave a really, really touching speech. Jeff got to tie his belt on him. Me and Joey helped Steve. Get to his feet to get his belt. So really, really cool event. So also if you see Steve, reach out to him, congratulate him.
Send him a message.
Yep.
We do have that GoFundMe still going, which is great to help him and his family.
Yeah, that's going to be up for a real long time. We just kind of picked a arbitrary goal for it, but we definitely want to keep that going as much as we can. I think we're already halfway to whatever our goal was, but we definitely want to just keep.
And we have that podcast coming up. I think so. Yeah. So we didn't get to do it. And I remember even after I was like, if you want to do the podcast, let's talk.
Yep.
He's like, tonight I'm kind of tired.
Yeah.
So his wife though is really a big fan of the podcast. She's probably listening.
Shout out Megan.
Yeah. Yep. I'm sure she'll be listening. And she was on our side. She's like, you got to do the podcast. Yeah. So she even, I don't know, did she text you about dinner?
No.
So she sent me a message today, or maybe it was last night. I don't remember, but she messaged me. She's like, "Do you like chicken, fish? We'll make you dinner." So on Sunday we do have a plan.
We got him.
She's making him do it.
Awesome.
I think she's locking him in the house. So we're gonna go over to his house on Sunday, and we're gonna definitely do that podcast and a lot of stuff that we won't talk about too much right now. But about like I would love just to get his get that speech. Kind of like solidified too. There were some things that he said that I really want people to hear.
Yeah.
And if we say it now, it just doesn't do the same.
Doesn't carry the same weight.
It would not feel right. So I'm excited about it.
Awesome. So so that was an awesome event for us. Yeah, Steve getting his purple belt, and then we had a nice little seminar that day. So nice
little seminar.
You want to talk about the competition that we did?
Yeah. So last week. So what was that, Saturday?
Yeah. So we
What
told
was the story? Let's go from the beginning. Where'd we go?
So we drove out to St. Louis. It was about a 5-hour drive there.
And you crushed it.
Cruised out there. Yeah, we got back a lot quicker
We took
too.
Cindy's car.
Yeah, shout out Cindy. Thank you so much for letting us borrow the vehicle.
What do you call that car? Does it have a name?
I don't know. I think it's a Traverse or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, what is its name?
Oh, I don't know.
Cindy doesn't name
It's
cars?
the Beast. No, no one used to name cars. My cousin used to name of all our family cars, but they would just be like the green machine,
Yeah,
the
it's
white
always-
machine, the red machine.
Whatever
Yeah.
color plus machine. Jay, do you name your car?
I do not. No.
Do you?
I used to I had my Black Beast.
Okay.
That was my my Jeep Wrangler.
Okay.
I don't have a name for my Renegade.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of sounds cool.
Renegade's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's already got that cool name for it.
Yeah, but that car was a beast, especially on the way home. Is when I noticed, like, I'm just cruising on the highway in the left lane. I'm like, I'm
It's
going
smooth.
100. Like, I'm just flying. So yeah, it was a nice
So
smooth
that was
drive.
a really comfortable ride.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed. And it's funny. So we drove to St. Louis, and now you're going right back.
Going right back.
Okay.
Yeah, going
You're
to see
doing
the
the same
family this
exact
weekend.
drive?
Yep. Yeah, I think a little further, more to like southern Missouri. So,
Kyle's going back to St. Louis for for Thanksgiving.
yep, see the
So
family.
it's kind of funny. I mean, it's like 2 weeks in a row to go drive to St. Louis.
Super fun. Missouri is
So
one of the most
exciting.
amazing places. Yeah, that drive's just beautiful. So much scenery. Yeah, the corn will get you.
corn.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Brings a tear to your eye.
Yeah, so we drove out there. You and Ian were pretty good on weight. I had to cut a little bit of weight, but nothing too bad.
So we got in. I knew that Kyle, a couple of weeks. I think we said it in the podcast. Like it had like 10 pounds. So you
Yeah.
had like a good amount of weight. I was like, man, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
So we drove right to the hotel. We got a hotel. Kyle brought a bag of Epsom salt just in case of how much we had to weigh, and we brought a scale, which was smart.
Hey, yeah.
Because remember, Jay,
We are evolving.
we're learning. We're
learning.
learning. And like I know that I should bring a scale, but sometimes I forget.
It's hard when you're flying.
When you're flying, everything's
Yeah.
more difficult. But so we brought a scale, so we were prepared. We got to the hotel, and I think it was late at night,
Yep.
and the weigh-ins were supposed to be early the next day. And we checked the weight. I think you were like 5 pounds?
Yeah. Yeah. Something like 5. Yep.
And so you're thinking about cutting. I was like, don't worry about it.
We'll just do it in
I was
the
like,
morning.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Just play it. A little bit of risk. I enjoy it. So like I've been cutting weight my entire life, my adult life completely, and then throughout high school and even as like middle school. I remember I had to be careful. I didn't know what I was doing back then. It was always like just throwing on garbage
Plastic bags
Yeah.
and running. Yeah.
Garbage bags and stuff like I didn't know
Dad,
what I
put the
was
heat on in the car.
Yeah. Like silly stuff, but I'm very comfortable with where like I know how much weight I can float, what I need to do. That's just from experience, and everyone's different. And I think you like to cut weight like early.
Yeah, I've cut weight a bunch of times, but every time it's been like I like get
do it
it
early.
off. Yeah, I try to get it
then
off
you're
and then go to
sitting
weigh-ins.
at
Yeah,
that lightweight.
Yep.
So like that my biggest advice to someone who's cutting who maybe is like newer to cutting weight is to cut weight as minimal amount of time as possible.
Yeah.
Which is scary. It's stressful, but it's so much healthier.
and once you get
None of it's healthy.
you've made
Healthier.
me you've made me more comfortable with it, and so it's not as stressful now.
Right.
I remember the first time I actually like made the conscious decision to like trust what you were saying to me and be like, all right, I'm gonna float a
you're
pound
right.
off in
Yeah.
the next hour or two. It's
Right, because it's so common people overdo it. We've all done it too. Like where like you're like, oh man, I'm a half a pound over. Okay, I got to do a little bit more, and then when
You
you
lose
weigh
2
in, you're
pounds.
3 pounds under. You didn't need to suffer, and you just and not that it's gonna make or break anything at the end of the day, but it's like why would you prolong some suffering? So, we're like, Kyle, just let's go to bed, man. You'll be good. So we set an alarm for early, and Kyle, you were, right up.
Yep.
I was really impressed that because I was tired, man.
Yeah.
I was really tired, and you drove and everything.
But I would say too, it
Got right up, got right into the tub.
that is the
Nice.
it was uncomfortable, but it is the easiest way to cut weight.
Yeah.
You draw a bath and lay in a bathtub. So
Yeah,
I
for
pretty
anyone-
much just went back to bed. Yeah,
For
Relaxing
our
there.
friends who don't know what the hell we're talking about, like a lot of people, I tell this because I'm so used to it. I don't know, Jay, how much familiarity you
Very
have with
little.
it.
Yeah.
Like what a hot bath can do for weight cutting.
So can I tell kind of like
Sure.
a funny story that explains
gosh.
a little bit?
Who died?
Well, no. So Chael Sonnen said he used to do that all the time. He was big into it. One of the parts that I don't know if this opens your pores more, but he said they would also
Alcohol?
put rubbing alcohol
Yeah.
in there too. That does
That's
that well.
unnecessary.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't think
That's
I'd never done
all
that
my
either.
studies of it. I've done it without, and it does not make or break.
So Chael said
I think
he
it's been kind of debunked.
Okay.
I could be wrong if anyone has some better science on it, but I've heard that that's not a.
So Chael says for one of his fights, they're at the Fighter Hotel, and he's walking around, and Weidman's trying to cut a bunch of weight, and he's really struggling. And Chael says he explains to him, if you get in a hot Epsom salt bath, the reason you're getting in the sauna is because the humidity is so high. So if you get in a bathtub, it's 100% humidity, but your head is out, so it's a little more relaxing for your body, and your pores will open up, and you'll lose a bunch of extra weight. If you put the salt in there, your body opens up a little more. It helps you lose the weight a little bit. So Chael tells him the whole thing, and he said Weidman was very hesitant about it, as most people are when you hear about it for the first time.
And the reason why most people like wrestlers is because they've had a tradition. It's just the reality is like if you've done something a certain way and it's been successful, even if it's not the best, it's hard for someone who is making a living off it to change the way they do it
Yep.
because they don't want to fuck around with it. So if you've been sitting in the sauna for 30 minutes and that gets the weight off, you're gonna I don't know if I don't want to sit in the bath.
So Chael says he tells him that, and Weidman's like, all right, man, I'm going to believe you. So all the fighters are in the same hotel, and Chael says he wakes up the next morning and he goes to draw the hot bath, and no hot water will come out of it because everyone's doing it in the hotel. And he says he goes to go to the sauna, and he steps over Weidman, who's laying on the floor in the sauna, like all like dead, and like what you mother, all pissed at him about it. So
Yeah, I mean it's.
if you got the hot water though, and that water was hot at the hotel,
so I tested it out because I was concerned because you never know because that's the first thing I heard that story too. It's like, and me and Corey had scenarios where we went to hotels and being like, we know what we're doing at home, but then you go to a hotel and like the bathtub won't allow you to get the water as high because they have those like safety net little holes.
Yeah, I was
So
struggling
we'd
with that a little bit.
What we
yeah.
do is we duct tape them.
Nice.
We'd bring duct tape. We'd duct tape them. So we always had but those were from learning lessons, so you never know. So I tested the shower before and I got burnt. I was like, this is a hot fucking
Yeah,
shower.
it was bad.
So it had its, I knew it was going to work for you. But so you woke up in the morning, you did your thing. So yeah, people, if you don't know, this is I think the best method versus like sitting in a sauna or trying to sweat it out through just physical activity. I think there's a little bit of benefit if we do like some jump rope or something to break a sweat, and then
Then you're just in there less. Yeah, so that's
but you're still burning. You're using a lot of energy, which you don't really want when you're right before you go for their weigh-in. And there's a big difference between weigh-ins the day before versus this was a same day. So Kyle's going to weigh in, and then he's going to compete relatively soon after. It's a few hours, but sometimes it's right away. So Kyle cuts weight, makes the weight, no problem. Breakfast was fun. We didn't really eat anything. I think we stole a muffin. You remember that?
Yeah, you guys made weight. Yeah. So
this is a
did
great
you hear about
story.
this?
No, I didn't hear about this
So
one.
Kyle goes down. Well, I always assume if you're at a hotel and there's a spread,
And it was
like, it's a
it was
free
a
breakfast.
There
fancy
you go.
hotel too. Like
They're so fancy they gave us water.
they
Remember
gave
that?
us free waters when we come in. So we go down and we're looking at all the food, and I'm like in a daze, because I'm hungry. I haven't eaten a little bit. So
I'm
I
like,
just
Kyle, go grab something for later.
so Joey opens up the thing, and I immediately stick my hand in to grab a muffin, and the lady comes over and she's like, "You got to pay for everything over here." And I just start putting the muffin back, and she's like, "No, you can keep that one." All right, cool.
You got that one right.
So I was like, man, we should just go finger every muffin.
We did touch all of them.
If we just start touching every muffin, like, what are you gonna do?
I touched these
They
bananas too. This box of Kellogg's. I touched this hotel room
It
too.
made me think of. Remember Scary Movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My germs. You stick your little hand in it. Once you touch that muffin, but I guess the muffins are free if you touch them.
Right?
So he stole a muffin, and then we bounced out of there. And then you remember the gentleman who was like just complaining. So he watched that happen, and there was like a family, and this guy is complaining. Like
There's this guy in the lobby, and he's just like
$8.59
for breakfast.
Ain't nobody paying $8.59 for breakfast.
These
right?
people are leaving
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Look at this.
And I'm pretty sure he was not even in the hotel. He was just there for the breakfast that he thought was free.
And he was super upset. It wasn't
Super
free.
upset.
So was
Oh,
I.
that's great.
Yeah.
I couldn't even eat, and I was upset about it.
Yeah, so that was us leaving the hotel to go to the weigh-ins. And then we get to the weigh-ins. Everything's good. We weigh in. Definitely a light scale. It wasn't,
Yeah.
you were under. So it was an easy weight cut. So we make weight. It's a pretty cool event because for anyone who knows, AGF is American Grappling Federation.
Yep.
They're the hosts of what we competed at. So it's not, we didn't compete for AGF. We competed for USA Grappling.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah, it was confusing.
Yeah.
I thought, I had no idea. Giuseppe, our friend who didn't compete, we'll give that story too.
Yep.
We love Giuseppe, but he's the one that made us do this.
Yep.
Not made us, but
It
he's
talked
the one
us
that
into it,
talked us
yep.
into it. And then he ended up getting hurt the week of, just not hurt, but his elbow was bothering him. So he ended up not competing. But he told us about it, but I didn't fully understand it.
No.
Until I got there and the guy told us the story about like what's going on, and I'd like to kind of share that story because it's kind of cool. But what we competed at was the USA Grappling Qualifier. I thought it was the trials. I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, man, this is so weird that there's so few people.
Yes, you were very like. I remember
like,
even
there's
saying
no
to me
way.
like 2 weeks ago, going like, "You're telling me I win this and I'm on the team."
Yeah.
So
Right.
it
Yeah,
made a lot more sense when we got there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we got there, and what this was just like a regional qualifier. So this was the first of this year. So this is like the world championships, like they do for wrestling. Every year you have to qualify for the world team.
Okay.
Okay, for USA USA Wrestling, this is USA Grappling, and so every year they do their qualifiers, and so this was what would this be, like northeast, northwest? I don't know, northwest. I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah, northeast, south, and west. So they do all of their qualifiers. I think there's 6 of them, and this was the first one. And there was only one person in my division, so if you win, you qualify then for the trials. I thought it was the trials already. I didn't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I remember. Yeah, that's what we were talking about before you guys left out. We're like, wow, I only had to beat this one guy.
One guy, and I get to go to the world
All right, let's
championship.
do
Take
this.
me.
I was like, let's do
Let's
it.
go.
So now once you get to the trials, it's going to be good because everyone's tough. Then.
They've beaten somebody.
Everyone's beating someone. Everyone's legit. That'll be a tough tournament. So I'm super excited about it because I won mine. I'm going to go to that. I have goals now because at first I was just like, oh, I'll go do it. Why not? But now I really am excited.
You heard the whole story. It made
once I
you
heard the
pumped.
story. So
Once you started chanting USA.
yeah,
USA.
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 I'm in, man. Like I love it. I'm all about it. I bleed red, white, and blue. I don't know if you know this.
There it is.
No, it's red. It's just red. It's just red.
Commie.
It started blue. What happened?
What do you think? I'm
You
Chinese?
ain't bleeding red. Hey, commie.
So yeah, I'm really into it because here's the story. Should we try to explain the story?
Yeah.
How does it go?
So this tournament has been around for a while. I would say from what I heard from them, it's been around for about 10 years, and Russia had won the first 8 years.
Yeah.
And then Russia has got
Which
banned.
makes sense. Russia wrestlers. So this is not a jiu-jitsu tournament.
I would say for as much as we've talked about how ADCC is more of a wrestling
Wrestling-based?
style jiu-jitsu tournament, this is a wrestling.
more so,
This
yeah.
is a wrestling tournament with submissions. That's
Yeah.
the way. That's why.
That's how
put
they were
it.
kind of spelling it out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still jiu-jitsu. It's still grappling.
Yep.
It's still submissions. But the rule set is very wrestling heavy. So Russians
Yep.
are very good wrestlers, and that's they obviously have a high level of IQ for wrestling. So if they learn some submissions and sambo as part of that, all that they have that background.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not surprising to hear that they were dominating the worlds for this type of rule set.
Yeah.
It's different. If there's no heel hooks, we see what most sambo players really struggle with. If you've been paying attention to the grappling world, a big storyline is all the 1FC stuff. So there's a lot of sambo guys challenging, like Mikey Musumeci.
And it ain't going well.
And it's never. And not only is it not going well, those people are disfigured for life now. I mean, have you seen any of this?
I have
Jay?
not.
They're
no.
not competing again.
I wouldn't know the guy's name. I wouldn't know how to pronounce it anyways. But there was 2 of them, I think, and the one was really bad. I think both of his legs were completely destroyed.
Yeah.
Because he would not tap.
I think I have. Yeah.
You've seen this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where he just kept. Yeah, and Mikey.
I mean,
was,
and Mikey was like, if you know,
yeah,
Mikey's
he would
kind of
give,
got a
like,
funny
look.
face.
Yeah.
So, I don't get it.
Yeah. Why is
Can
it
you
not
do some
tapping?
Mikey impersonations? You got to go in.
I don't know if I can.
Oh,
Oh,
you-
my God, Joey. It'll take me a second. I'll get out of it. Yeah.
He's trying to be polite. He's got a good Mikey.
yeah.
We like Mikey. Mikey's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, but just your knee and your heels should not point the same direction. So yeah,
it's
he's
definitely
messing
not
people
healthy. So,
So-
that was their weakness, though.
Yeah.
Is some leg locks. And this tournament, there's no leg locks, no twisting leg locks. You could do straight ankles. You could do knee bars, I assume. Toe holds. They said we asked them in person.
up. Yeah, so they said yes.
But no heel hooks, which is Kyle's major weapon.
Yeah, and you would say like that's the one that is. I mean, would you agree a little bit, Joe? Like the heel hook tends to be the one that like it's gonna be very hard for you to tough through it.
Straight ankle lock, you can sometimes tough through.
You know,
but
it's like you still get broken, but in a
I
weird
think
way you
that
can
says-
kind of
It depends on the person, though, right? How good are they at actually?
toughen it out.
Or no, how good is
Applying the foot lock. Yeah.
I mean, you can break someone's foot, and then there's no toughing it out.
I guess the breakability is
More difficult.
easier with a heel hook, right?
Yes.
So yeah,
certainly with the inside heel hook, like you don't even have to do it well to
Yeah.
really hurt someone. If you just get a good grip on their foot and it's trapped between your toes, and then you drive your hips into someone's knee.
it's gonna be bad news.
Whereas like the straight ankle lock, you have to have a really good finesse to get a perfect break.
I mean, that's something we
Where some people can tough it out
Yeah.
if it's not perfect.
we talked about that whole week with footlocks, right? Like I was
Yeah.
even saying, I mean, I know I've really hurt people with footlocks, but even now this past month, I feel like my
You
footlocks
got a
got
lot
so
better.
much better. So
And I said that's a terrifying idea because you're already good at it.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
makes me feel good.
when Kyle tells me
yeah.
something like that, it's like, whoa,
Uh-oh.
it must be good.
Right.
Yeah, I had a good exchange with it today. So the Russians, they win the first 8 years. Then they decide they need to take over Ukraine. So they're kicked out of sporting. No more sporting.
Which is that's the case with all of it, right? Like the Olympics and stuff. Did they miss an Olympics?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I don't follow that.
They hosted the Olympics in Nazi Germany, so I don't know if that
don't know,
kicks you
yeah.
out. But who knows?
But they got in trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They,
So,
they
so
were
they're-
slapped on the wrist for
So-
some major war crimes.
yeah.
Hey, you
can't play anymore.
That's a problem. You can't do jujitsu now.
Hey, let me tell you real quick.
And they're like, oh man, come on.
We don't even want your political opinions on the podcast, right? I'm just telling you what happened. All right,
This is a fact.
I don't need to see your blue and yellow flag. I don't need to see your Russian flag. All right,
We love you all.
We love you all. Peace in the Middle East. All right. So
And
anyway,
the other places.
And everywhere else, too.
so
So they're banned for 2 years.
they're banned for
and
2
what
years.
happens while they're gone?
America,
USA.
USA.
Did it make the sound?
Yeah,
All
oh, yeah.
right.
So we come by, we do our thing, like usual.
USA.
We win 2 years in a row.
Which, hold on, let's just say America's really good at a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you've been following sports in general, I think about the Olympics. I don't really follow the Olympics as much as I would like to, but I just know that America, we're good at a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Russia is good at only a few things. They're really good at wrestling. I think they're really good at a few things. They have a lot of like
Not those cold sports.
yeah, things that involve snowballs.
Yep.
Good at
no,
wrestling bears.
Yeah. It's like they have a few things. But like America, we do have good wrestlers. We're not the best wrestlers. There's like, Iran and there's better wrestling cultures. But we are good at wrestling and our jiu-jitsu is really good. Like for America is like the melting pot of jiu-jitsu over the last, since the 90s. All the Brazilians came to America. Like we've just grown the sport so much.
So the way you just described it, like all the people coming to America, it's not 100% accurate, but there's a very like close correlation between the GDP of all the countries and the medal count at the Olympics of all the countries.
So more money, the more medals.
More medal, more and what you could think is like if you are a very well-off country, people just have time to practice their hobbies more.
Maybe,
and
yeah.
America, more people have time to practice a vast amount of hobbies because
Yeah,
we are
you can
one of the
pursue what you
highest.
want.
Yeah, it's like almost an exact. And I know that's kind of random, but that's very interesting. Yeah.
But then you also say like there's some interesting ideas about that where like in America we don't like we don't pay our athletes to do the Olympics.
No.
No.
And you kind of,
But in Russia, they do.
Yep. Yep.
In Russia, like if you're an athlete for your country, they will pay you to do it.
Yeah.
Like a lot, like
represent,
that's their only thing. I'm sure it's like that with other, sports and stuff in general for like nations. I know, like I'm sure Japan's the same. I'm sure a lot of countries are like that. China, I'm sure, the same way. It's like once they know what you're going to be, they're going to fund you into that.
Yep.
And I don't think in America we don't really do that as much.
Well, yeah, and it's different.
You hear about Olympic athletes in America who are just flat broke and like they don't know if they can do it for the next 4 years.
Right.
a lot of Olympic athletes end up afterwards like hating the Olympics. You know, you got like Ronda Rousey and all them,
Yeah.
and like don't they say like did they say
Yeah,
like
I don't
Muhammad
know.
Ali threw his medals in the river or something like that? Like that was one of the
I
things.
don't know. I don't have enough. I would have to look up a couple of those. But yes, I've heard
But there's
stuff
some
like that.
shameful stuff with like Floyd Mayweather getting like robbed in boxing. Roy Jones got robbed in boxing at the Olympics. There's some really
There's
bad.
a lot of bad ones. Still one of my favorite. You saw the George Foreman movie?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You remember the George Foreman with the flags? Mm-hmm. So George Foreman's just a simple guy. We love George Foreman. He's a tough dude, but he was kind of a little simple.
Shout out George and his kids, George.
and George
And Georgina. Or Georgetta. Is that what it was?
I don't know.
I thought it was Georgina. Yeah.
Probably a few of them.
George something.
So George, if you remember this story, it's just silly because it's like he was country bumpkin, very simple man.
Yep.
And when he won, they gave him a little American flag, and he's like waved around, and people hated him for it.
Really?
Because at that time, with like Muhammad Ali being kind of like anti-war, they're like. It was just racially, it was very interesting.
Yep.
So that's like my like Olympic story that I like sticks in my brain. That movie was really good.
It was really good. It was a really good movie. Yeah, I liked it.
Big George Foreman, was that what it's called?
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a good movie, I think it was a good movie.
Check it out.
Yeah. So America wins.
America wins 2
2
years,
years
in a row.
Those are the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
The Americans beat every other nation, but now Russia's back.
Uh-oh.
And they're hosting it in Russia.
Well, just adjacent, right?
Yeah.
In Kazakhstan. So it's a big storyline.
Oh, yeah.
It got me pumped. So like we got to the mat, right? We had our own little section, and the guys. Do you remember his name? Who was the head coach for the not the Olympic team, the head coach for the USA grappling team?
Yeah.
Do you remember his name?
I want to
we
say
should've
Mike
looked it up.
something. Yeah, I do apologize. We'll
Maybe we'll look it up right now, but.
So he came over and he just kind of sat down with me, Joey, and Ian, and he gave us the whole spiel we kind of just gave with you, and the way he told it was really inspiring about us. How he said the Russians are kind of talking some shit about how the only reason we've won is because that they haven't been around, and they're kind of making us go to their backyard to challenge them. So it's going to be a really cool thing to bring a really powerful team out there and kind of challenge them. And I mean what a great storyline of this team that dominated for years. Gone for a few years, thinking they're going to come back and just kind of smoke everybody, and hopefully we can give them a little bit of a challenge. So
show them what's up. Right? How many?
Johnny Morgan.
Johnny Morgan. All right, shout out Johnny Morgan. Very cool guy.
Yeah, very nice, very cool. So he was like kind of organizing it
Yep.
alongside the guy from AGF.
And organizing it, and also too very just like enthusiastic.
I could tell he was passionate about it, which kind of got me excited.
Yep.
So he told that story about it, and like, man, I was like, this changes everything about my feel. Like I was just gonna do it for fun. Now I'm like, I really want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of some history.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what, it's just a cool little piece of history, and yeah.
So I think that's a good breakdown. So we get all pumped up. And it started right away. It got going, and
the coolest thing I thought was like our team was the biggest team there.
Yep.
Even though, we only had three technically
four.
three.
We gotta say four. We gotta say
We'll
four.
say
Yeah,
four,
we'll take Johnny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Johnny's part of the team because we helped coach them during it. But we were like pretty much back to back to back with a little break
Yep.
and then another match. So I go, then Ian goes, and then Kyle goes.
Yep.
Back to back to back. There's only one match at a time.
Yeah. So let's.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it was really
nice.
fun. So as a team, it was just exciting. We're
Yeah.
like, let's get after it.
Really cool event. Big, I mean, the stupid thing to think is really cool, but just big mat area
I
to
like
compete
that,
on.
yeah.
That was really cool.
It got me excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you want to break down your match?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Awesome.
So I got a match with another black belt, who I didn't know that well. I ever interacted with him. I don't think I ever competed with him or anything. But
I've seen that guy
I feel like
before.
you said you've seen him.
Yeah, me and Ian were saying I've seen his face before, but I don't remember him really.
And like I've said before, I think it's like at that weight, at 100, anything under 140 pounds, I'm very confident. I don't care who it is in the world. I'll be able to compete against them.
Yeah.
There's, everyone's talented. If you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, you're obviously good. You're not going to be an easy match. But I just know at that weight, I can fight against anyone. And then now it's about making good decisions and performing well. And with him, I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know anything about him, but I expected people to wrestle because of the rule set.
Yes.
Because if you sit guard and your back touches the floor, you just gave me a takedown. It's not like pulling guard. You get 2 points. I get 2 points.
And for as much as being a guard puller, I kind of agree the rule should almost always be like that.
Right? I'm glad you said it. I'm shocked you said
Coming
it.
from a-
But it just makes sense as in like
as someone who appreciates sports, it doesn't make sense for it to be like you get
whatever
2
you
for
want.
taking me down, but if you just concede the takedown, you don't lose 2. Like,
and then with the concept, and this is why I enjoy ADCC, if you have a period of time where no rules, or not no rules, but no points are applied, that makes sense.
Yep.
But why is there, like you can sit guard, but if you get your guard passed, you get punished. Or if I sweep you, you get rewarded.
So-
you didn't get to earn even the guard pass. I don't know. It's just,
it would seriously be like
it makes sense if you have no points.
if it was allowed for me to just let you pass my guard into side control and I didn't lose points. Like what?
Yeah.
That's
Right.
literally
Why
what
you
the
would
same
start.
rule is. Yeah, I guess so.
I
But
gave
yeah,
him
so-
side control.
Yeah.
I wanted him here.
Yeah,
So he pulled guard right away, pretty early.
Yep.
So I was expecting to wrestle, but he just pulled guard, and he had a good guard. And I'm pretty confident in my guard passing. I was feeling really good. But I did remember, like me and Kyle were talking about this before. We're like, man, we've had a tough run for a little while. Like we were traveling a lot, doing a lot of tournaments, more than normal. Like the going from one to the next.
Yeah.
And before the tournament, he's like, man, he's really tired. I'm really tired. So we had that conversation. We're like, let's just get through this tournament, and we'll get a little break for the holidays. We're gonna enjoy it.
I think more me than you though too.
No, I felt it,
you were
man.
feeling it good.
I
Yeah,
definitely felt it.
I guess I was verbalizing it
Yeah.
more.
yeah. Well, and I was just trying to keep you motivated.
Yeah.
Be like, man, fucking, let's do one
We're gonna
more.
do it,
Let's
yep.
get after it. And I remember like I passed his guard pretty much
Yes.
twice.
Yeah,
And
just
then-
like a knee on
and then
your
he gets
hip.
the-
Maybe.
and I think the third time that like he got his knee in, like good guard. Instead of me doing what I should do, which is like do it again,
Yeah.
keep doing. I just been like, come on, just let me pass. And I kind of sat there for a minute, and then he like threw it a good triangle. It wasn't close or anything, unless you're asking Dakota.
Yeah, Dakota saw a demon coming at you.
Yeah, yeah. Just kidding. But when he threw up the triangle, almost instantly, the reaction I had was like, I remember thinking like, oh, this is not a risk. This is an opportunity.
Yep.
Because he threw it up high and he had a separation between his head and his knees. And I just like stepped right over his body. He fell right off. And I remember thinking too, like, oh, this is something Kyle would do.
Yep.
Kyle would just attack the legs right here. But I was like, I'm not going to go for heel hooks. So instead of going for legs, I just spun, took his back, and that was the end of the match. I ended up choking him with a rear naked choke.
It's not kind of real nice rear naked choke, and you choked him very nice.
I choked him very nice.
Yeah.
I put the arms around his neck. He had his fingers in, and I used my hips.
Yep.
I just drove into him.
Yeah, you didn't
and I
even-
didn't squeeze.
I thought you were going to rotational finish. You didn't even
I
have to
just
apply
kind of
like
held
that.
it, and I waited for him, and I knew he was done. There was no way because he's and this is a bit of advice for anyone who's ever getting choked, is don't put your hands inside the choke. Because now you got no hands. So if you're someone who maybe you've watched stupid self-defense videos,
Yeah.
which is funny. This Sunday we have our self-defense friend David coming on. I'm excited to talk to him about bad self-defense. I'm sure he'll have some fun stuff.
What if his immediate reaction?
What if he
That's
loves
the
it?
go-to move. Grab, dude.
I can almost guarantee he'll enjoy like the McDojo stuff. So I'm excited. But there's people who like teach you like just stick your hands inside the arm. Like if I take my 4 fingers on both hands, so all my fingers in, you're not going to stop someone from choking you. All that does is now get your hands stuck on your neck.
Yeah.
So technically you're choking yourself.
I think one of the most common phrases I've stolen from you is saying like your 8 fingers are not going to beat my 2 arms.
you're done.
It's just
Yeah.
never
So
going to
the
happen.
only hope you have is to try to pull the top hand off and try to get inside of the choking arm. That's like your only hope.
Right.
Realistically, you can thumb post and try to get your chin underneath and hope that they're not smashing your face, but I'll smash your face too.
Yeah.
Right? But so I get it in and I see it. I feel his hands in. I know he's done, and he just ripped his hands out the tap. That
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
So Yeah, it was a good. I don't want to make it sound like it was an easy match,
But it was pretty.
but it was like a smooth running match. Like it was done and it felt good because I was like, oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm done. I don't have to do another match. Because I was, again, like we said, so it was a long run since the trials.
Yeah, just wear and tear in the
ADCC
body.
oh, yeah.
Not
I got
injured,
some
not
little-
beat.
little-
Just
beat up.
Right.
And since the ADCC East Coast trials, it's been like
lot.
almost like I haven't been able to breathe.
yeah.
So tired. So it was nice to have that done. And then I'm like, all right, now it's Ian's turn.
Yep.
So you want to talk about Ian's match?
Yeah, so Ian
This
goes
is
out
a
there.
fun match.
Same sort of thing. Ian, we were telling him how much this tournament is for his style. Ian doesn't like, he calls us ankle biters going for leg locks. So
Yeah.
Ian doesn't really like leg locks too much, and Ian's a really good wrestler. So he's like,
I think he's a great. Yeah, he's a very. I don't know what his background in wrestling. I never really asked him how much he wrestled, but his wrestling is just very good.
Yeah.
The way he wrestles for jiu-jitsu, I think, is really good.
yeah, really unique style too. But he goes out there and immediately the guy pulls guard, elbows him in the face, and then starts footlocking him immediately.
What's funny? So what's funny too is right. When we weighed in, the kid came up to Ian. It's like, "Oh, you're Ian? Hi. We're competing." It was like the nicest, sweet little boy. He was with his dad. He's kind of young. He's like, "Best of luck, Mr. Ian."
And by the end of the match, Ian's like, "That kid's a piece of garbage." I hate that kid.
the kid was mean.
Yeah,
he just wanted to win so bad.
Yeah.
He was
really
passionate.
for USA.
Yeah, he had a USA rash guard on.
Yeah, he was really into the tournament and he wanted to win bad. Like so bad he was willing to do some mean things to Ian.
Yeah, so he gets Ian in a footlock, and it was strong, but then also too just a little too high. And I'm sure Ian could describe to you a little more what he was feeling, but Ian definitely had the tapping hand come floating in the air.
I was like, oh, he's tapping.
And it would just the only reason it would have sucked is just the rapidness of it. It would have sucked to drive all the way out there and have a match end in a minute or something like that. But
And because Ian is talented, I think he has so much potential. I was talking to Giuseppe about that today through text. It's like, man, he's got endless amounts of potential.
Yep, he's a scrapper.
He's so scrappy, so tough. And so it would suck for him to come out there and just get straight ankle locked.
Yeah.
So he scraps his way out of that, and then so much happened in this match. I couldn't describe to you the whole thing. I will say kind of like the highlights. The highlight of the idea of the match was Ian did what you would suggest someone to do in this type of tournament, of just staying on top, not allowing the other person to get on top the whole time. He did have another transition where he got caught in a really good calf crank from the back.
Yeah, that calf slicer from the back.
If you guys can think, Charles Oliveira hit it in the UFC really bad on someone, and it was on.
He said that was worse than the straight ankle lock in terms of pain.
And in terms of that move, it's just one of those ones that when you get stuck there, you almost got to hope the other person starts making bad adjustments, because it's extremely hard to navigate your way out.
Yeah, it's not an easy exit strategy. It's not like you can unwind it.
Yeah.
You're stuck. It's locked into figure four.
But
if you can bluff it and not, and be like, doesn't hurt.
Yep.
The guy will eventually have to do something else,
To make adjustments.
so he wriggled his way out of that, and then ended up winning a good points match with a good lead, and it was super impressive. So shout out to Ian. We're really really proud.
Yeah,
of him.
it was awesome, and Ian was bleeding, and guy was elbowing him again and again. It was and the kid was like crying after, and Ian was so happy. And I was like jokingly, so like that was just as much fun. It was watching a guy. Not that I like watching people cry, but it was like
the only thing that could have made it more
the guy
epic
kept
was
elbowing him, and like to watch him just be like man, come on, just stand up.
the
Don't
thing that
cry
made it more.
on that.
Ian
I don't like that.
kept like we took a photo with him and they took a photo with him, and he kept giving like the double middle fingers.
Yeah.
And I was like, the only thing that would have made it better is if they got a photo with that kid crying and Ian standing over him giving the double middle fingers. Yeah.
Ian's got a personality. Like it's if you like him, you like him. But I could tell like he could rub some people the wrong way.
Yeah.
Out of context.
I love him, dude.
I
Yeah,
love him.
yeah,
He's
he's
awesome.
great.
If he's on your side, he's a great guy. But if he's against
I
you,
can see it. He's awesome, man. And we're definitely gonna have Ian on the podcast. We talked to him about it.
We got some stories. He's got some stories, man.
Stories that I think the world should hear because it's awesome. Just funny.
Those type of stories.
And Ian, it was cool to, me and Kyle were talking about this as much as, and Jay, you know all about this because you got to do this with us. You went with us to Orlando to compete, but we got another friend.
Yeah.
Ian's never competed with us in a travel with us.
Right.
And to have him come with, I think was really valuable. It was really valuable for us as coaches and as like teammates and just in general. Like I got to know Ian a lot.
Yeah.
more, and I enjoyed that a lot. I learned that he wants to compete in MMA.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I was like, now I'm all excited about that.
Right.
I
Yeah.
feel like he'll do great.
Build an MMA
He's
team
built
back
for
up.
it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got a couple of guys that are
Now
him and Adrian are sparring.
I know.
They're sparring on Monday.
We're-
yeah.
we're-
Brody,
I mean,
right?
2024, we're getting back at it.
Yep.
Brogan?
Brogan.
What'd you call him?
Brody? I thought it was Brody.
Brody.
Yeah.
He's Brogan.
Nice.
Brogan. And Brogan is, what a name.
Nice.
That's a great name. Yeah.
Brogan.
Brogan.
I'm just doing jiu-jitsu.
I'll
I'm sticking with
I'll stick
jiu-jitsu.
with jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
myself.
Brogan.
Yeah, so that was Ian's match. That was really, really fun.
Yeah. Great time. So then, now it's your turn.
That was my match.
What
Yeah.
do you think? You want to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I could break down my match.
Tell me what
So
you think.
yeah, so
this is a tough match, a fun match.
yeah, so I mean, I had I didn't really look up the guy I was going up too much. I mean, I literally just like typed his name in Instagram and scrolled through like 5 pictures and then went away. But just saw Trevor Polhamus, I think that's the way you would say it. Fought MMA, kind of tough guy.
And I'll say, very nice guy.
Very
We
nice
talked to him
guy.
a
Yeah,
lot
we talked to him and
afterwards,
stuff.
He
Really-
knew everything about us.
Yeah, he knew a lot
So
about
that
me
was
afterwards.
interesting. Like
yeah.
everything, he's like knew about our school, knew what we were doing.
Yeah, so he definitely studied
like-
me for the
He
match.
knew about our
The
mustaches. Yeah.
yeah.
He's
Kenny's
like,
corner,
I love
I'm
that your
loving.
team has mustaches.
so
When's
I
your
would
tracksuits coming out, guys?
He's been listening.
He's been following along.
he knows every
He
episode
knows
of
everything.
episode 6 541 into the episode, what you said was so yeah, really nice guy. I would say just we went out there, we knew I was going to try to wrestle a little bit more.
That was the goal, to
yep.
have you take yourself out of your comfort zone, and you're kind of forced to.
yeah
little bit.
with the rule set a little bit. So he hand fight a little bit pretty quickly, shot a double on me, kind of went a little bit to normal reactions and went for a guillotine exchange on him. Wasn't able to catch that. He rolled out. We ended up back in guard. I think it went for a foot lock that we had a couple of rotations through, but then I ended up getting my back taken. And those are the main ways that he scored points on me in the match.
And you got to remember too, unlike ADCC, they're scoring the entire time.
Yeah, they're scoring the whole
Which,
match.
if this was an ADCC match, you could get through that exchange
Yep.
and start 0-0. So,
yeah. So I just
that's just rules really dictate
100%.
strategy. It
Yeah.
should.
I just kind of started slow, right? Just kind of
In my opinion, it not even just started slow, because you started really well on your feet.
Yep.
Hand fighting wise, you were really confident, but I don't think you fought off a takedown enough.
Yeah.
I would like for you to do defensive wrestling as well. That was my takeaway from the whole thing
Yeah.
for you.
Totally
It was
agreed.
like, man, I want you to hit people with your hips and make it where instead of, and there's nothing wrong, because if you, let's say you finish that guillotine, you finish that Darce, that anaconda, that whole sequence.
Yep.
Then now it's like, oh, keep doing what you're doing. But the reality is that it's hard to do against a good guy.
And that's not success for what we were working on. Maybe a little bit,
I mean,
but
winning is success for sure. But I really believe that the defensive wrestling side of it needs to be a part of your overall wrestling improvement that you're making.
Yep.
And I don't think we've focused on that at all. I don't think we've said that even vocally. We've always just been about hand fighting.
Yep.
And some
Offensive stuff,
offensive
yeah.
stuff. But the defensive side of it is, and the philosophy of it can be really simply stated as just make people work harder. So even if he would have scored a takedown, if you would have fought the takedown off instead of take your head over his hips to grab his neck, you just made it easy. So the score that ended up happening, even though he had to fight out of that. If
Yeah.
he didn't make good choices, he would have got choked. But he's a black belt. He's a good guy.
Yep.
He knows what he's doing. He fought well. He got out, and he ended up in a good position. So it was like almost little effort for him.
Yeah.
But imagine if you hit him with your hips, and he had to lift and pick you up, and he had to work for it. He could have either was unsuccessful. That would be ideal, or he is successful, but it's so
Much more work.
expenditure for him
Yeah.
that the whole match changes just because of that exchange. And that's what it's really hard to quantify, because you can't put a number system on like how valuable it is.
How much energy you took out
don't
of him,
know.
or it's not a video game.
Yeah, it's not
you don't
that
have that
simple.
bar, that energy bar
Yep.
you can see.
How cool would that be, right? God, that'd be cool. Actually, it kind of suck, because
they can see yours.
they would see that we're like, oh, we're dying. It's not fake. I fake it.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Yeah, it's
actually, I'm
funny
not
to
dying.
think though, you would think it kind of does have to exist, but then also too, it
What
really
do you
doesn't
mean?
exist. And your energy isn't like that. It's not like
It kind of is, isn't it?
a little
I mean,
bit,
you get
right?
tired.
It's
And
weird,
like
but
once you're tired, how quick you recover is how good a shape you're
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And some video games, like that fighter comes
you can
back
get a
quicker.
little bit back
Yep.
over time if they don't take damage.
yeah, yeah,
The good
Video
ones.
games.
yeah. Shout out Fight Night. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, so I mean that was
But
pretty much
that was the only observation that like I would say like I would love to have seen that happen.
Yep.
Was the defensive side of that. Like if you would have just hit a heavy sprawl and made him force into a single leg from his knees, and then maybe you went for the attack versus hanging over his back. And it's for anyone who grapples, I think you know what I'm saying about that. If someone shoots in on a double and he just dropped and shot, if you hang your head over their back, you have just made yourself a sack of potatoes
Instead of taking your hips away. Yeah.
Instead of becoming a wall that someone runs into, you want your hips to be that first contact.
Yep.
If you don't do that and you hollow yourself over it, you've just made that so much easier for the person. And that's like the secret trick to takedown defense is that you want to actually meet them.
Yeah.
If you try to get away from someone, you become a bag that's thrown over their back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I remember that module that we were doing, and that was very
defense.
hard for me to kind of pick up. and
because you
grasp that
think someone
concept.
shoots in on you and you want to move away from them. But if you do that, you move your hips back, you land on top of them.
Right. Yeah.
And if they have good force and they're driving up, you get taken down. But if you meet that force with your hips, boom, you hit it. And now as you start to sprawl, you're like a plank on top of them. It's really hard. And if they succeed in that, good for them. They're animals.
They earned it.
They earned it, and they got to earn it.
Yeah.
And you're set. So this is a philosophy. I think again, like we said, it's a philosophy in general for defensive submission wrestling is that you always defend the shot first. Then the submission happens after the defense. Versus if that's just, again, I'm trying to adopt that more. And I think I have over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Because I used to have that problem a lot in MMA.
Yeah.
Someone shoots and I would try to grab their neck and get slammed, legitimately slammed.
Yeah.
I've stopped that philosophy. I do not ever.
I remember one fight of yours where like you were dominating and the guy shot on you and like you sprawled and stopped him and then he shot on you and you sprawled and then you just started elbowing him again and then he ended up taking you down. I remember my brain going like, you hit him good, but don't do
I know, and so you add another layer of concept or layer
striking
of,
as well, right?
Striking, that is offense first, right? So it's like you got to defend first. You gotta, and you got to have a balance of it because again, what if that one elbow shot cuts him open and changes everything, or knocks him on? You see, John Jones.
Yeah, that Travis Brown. Remember,
Travis
just
Brown.
taking people out.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So it all sounds good in theory.
Yep. Yeah, and I think honestly, like all good in theory, that's what for a second what went through my head was like, oh, good, I'll just end this right.
Yeah, so same thing. So at the end of the day, the biggest lesson for both of us, myself included, is just like let's not be lazy.
Yeah.
You're gonna do a match, just don't be lazy. Like don't, and it's subconscious, but it's there. I felt it. I'm sure maybe you did feel it. Maybe you didn't at the time, but now you're seeing it.
Yep.
It's like we just wanted the quick, easy answer.
Yep.
I want to just be like, just let me pass, man. Come on, stop moving. Make this. Let me take them out. Let me go to. I was gonna arm triangle. In my head, I visioned an arm triangle. So I get a little late. I wanted the easy answer, and maybe that's part of it.
Yep.
Instead of fighting the takedown.
Yeah. So I mean, that was
that was the match.
That was the storyline of my match. Yeah.
What I was really proud of, and I hope you're proud of, is like by the end of it, it became a tough, scrappy match at the end.
Yeah, I was working.
Where you were working.
Yep.
I know you end up in the guard again. And you had a little go-go plata type of scenario that was actually pretty cool.
Yep.
But then you wrestled up a little bit and you were playing from your feet, working on some of the duck under stuff that we were doing. None of it landed the way that we would like. But at that point, the guy was up quite. I don't know what it was.
I think it was 6-1, and I think when I pulled again, it was 8-1.
Yeah. By the end, he was under no pressure.
Yeah.
So
and he was kind of backing up for me.
Yeah.
We both got negatives because he's backing up. So yeah. But it was a good experience.
I was super happy with the development of your game.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw doesn't really matter, but the development was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm glad you did it.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for bringing us
Forcing
out there.
You
It was
do
fun.
it.
No, I didn't. You definitely didn't force me to do it. Yeah,
forced him to do it. I had a gun against his head while he was driving. Just keep driving.
Where are we going again?
Yeah, let's do a quick. Like we said,
Our buddy Johnny.
Johnny definitely is. I think Johnny's part of Comprito's.
I believe so.
School. But has been coming here and training on Fridays.
On Sundays, Fridays.
Johnny's been one of my really really good training partners on Friday for competition class. So
super tough. I think he was a college wrestler. I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Yeah. He told me he wrestled at Harper and then he went somewhere else afterwards. Yeah.
I don't know how long he's been training, but he's really talented.
Yeah.
I think he's more talented than his level.
Yes.
Right? He's a purple belt.
Yeah, he should be a brown. Easily, maybe even a black belt. Yeah, he's pretty
easily
good.
Could be a black belt in terms of skill and just athleticism. But it's again, it's like that's not the only we go back to Steve when it comes to criteria.
Yep.
It all depends on a lot of things. It depends on who's promoting you. But, it's not just about, hey, are you tapping this person? Are you tapping that person? That doesn't equal being a black belt or a purple belt or a brown belt. It's interesting because I think people do sometimes, especially if you're uninitiated to jiu-jitsu, you assume someone has a purple belt and that guy's a white belt. Or, you
he
have
beats
a black
him every
belt.
day.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You have a black belt and that person has a purple belt. It's like, you should be able to just submit him whenever you want.
That guy
right?
tapped you out, Yeah.
It's not that simple.
Yep.
Jiu-jitsu it's much more like nuanced and complicated than just like, that's why especially a layering that's just white, blue, purple, brown, black, 5. It's not that,
Right.
it doesn't work as simple as that.
Yeah, split 7 billion people into 5 categories.
Yeah, it doesn't work. But so Johnny did, I think it was it was the biggest division that was there, which was only 4 people.
I mean, 4 people, dude. Yeah,
compared
so,
to our 2. So he got 2 matches, which was fun.
Yeah, so
both of them were close, tough matches.
Yeah, so first match he went out, Johnny's got a very tricky kind of wrestling style. He'll kind of bait you into giving him stuff and ended up taking the guy down. Caught him in a nice anaconda choke, and I've been in Johnny's I've been in Johnny's anaconda choke before, and he can squeeze you to death. And so but in a tournament, the squeeze to death, you can lose your confidence in it. Sometimes you don't want to burn yourself out.
Right.
So we're
right there, and he's looking at us. And,
and we're coaching him through this detail of
breath.
using your legs to help the anaconda a little bit. Yeah, and then Joey kind of just
take a deep breath, take a big inhale, and now walk your hips in. Now take another big inhale, walk your hips in, and before you know it, guy taps.
Yeah, so that was really smooth, and then I didn't even know he was going to have a second match. But then
we forgot, and I'm like, he's up.
And then he ended up having to compete against one of the refs.
Yeah.
And it was actually a really, really close match where, we were kind of on Johnny about being a little bit backing up a little bit when he was wrestling. He was more circling, but just circling.
They're supposed to really be, like, I think they said 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So they count 15 seconds in their head. That's the clock. Mm-hmm. So if there's nothing happening, it's instantly a warning, which is a negative point.
Yeah. So
not a negative point, but a point towards the other person.
So Johnny got a negative point, but then like immediately after he hit a nice double leg and he got a takedown. And then through some other sort of scrambles, I know he ended up ending up on the bottom again. The match ended up being tied. And then they went to overtime, and the overtime rules were kind of goofy.
I'm kind of gray. I don't understand the overtime rules yet.
I can explain the rules that they did and happened was the other guy won a coin toss, and then he got to pick a position. And if he submitted Johnny from that position within a minute, he won. And if Johnny escaped within a minute if Johnny didn't get submitted during the minute, he won.
It was weird.
Yeah, so that guy started on Johnny's back. Johnny ended up escaping the back actually pretty quickly. I think the guy caught him.
Just like held his legs.
Yeah,
it was like a weird thing.
Yeah. So, but then Johnny ended up winning, and so Johnny, Joey, and Ian are all going to go do the trials when the rest of the qualifiers happen.
And the best part about it, so they bring up all the winners for the qualifier, like by the podium or whatever, and me and Kyle are just looking at each other, and we just start a slow chant of USA, USA,
and no one's
doing it. Like we stop for a little bit, like everyone, they're getting some other people, and like I look at him and I go, US. I try it again, and I'm like looking around trying to get the crowd into it. No, nothing's happening. So then they finally they announced here's your winners for the blah blah blah. And the guy, it's like, I want everyone to do this. USA. And I'm like, yeah.
I ripped my shirt off. I was running around with the American flag. It was great.
Oddly enough, when you ripped your shirt off, you had an American flag painted on your naked body.
America.
And an eagle just flew by.
Yeah, and
so it would have been nice if I won. That body paint took a lot.
It took forever.
I actually wasn't cutting weight in the bathroom. I just paid someone to paint me.
You know, if you didn't paint your body, you probably wouldn't have to cut weight. It was really heavy paint.
18 pounds.
It was lead-based
acrylic paint. Yeah,
all that lead.
Man, my teeth did hurt. Yeah,
I have to. You have to go talk to a doctor. By the way.
Yeah.
Stupid joke. That was funny. Yeah. The USA champ was awesome. What do you got?
There goes your joke.
Yeah. So there was an interesting.
I can't hear it.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting rule set about the tournament that you guys were doing, and I remember you and I were kind of training it. about pushing somebody as well,
push
right?
outs, which we're still unsure of because
So this is what was weird was when
we were told there was.
Yep.
Giuseppe was convinced there was.
Yes.
He talked to me about it this morning.
And he did it before.
And he said he's got, I mean, he did the Worlds.
I
so.
watched Ian shove a guy out of the mat, and then I
didn't see him.
watched the scoreboard, and the points didn't change.
Nothing.
Now, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but then when Joey was reading the rules, it said something more to the effect of the other person had to flee off the mat. So it didn't seem like if you forced them,
But that wouldn't be a push out then, right? That's a running
Right,
away.
yeah.
out.
that's fleeing. Yeah. So,
But I don't know. I'm still convinced that that's a part of the rules because
I am too, and I think honestly, either I just missed it,
maybe
or
the ref just forgot.
Ian's match was pretty chaotic. I think he might have just kind of forgot
Put
a
it
little
back
bit.
in, yeah. Who knows? But that's a big part of it. Is like, and it's also in general like the aggression, because if it is like a 15-second thing, if you're not even moving forward, you're gonna get a negative. And like Kyle, it wasn't you guys being boring.
Yeah, I thought it was.
You guys were still trying, but like neither of you guys took a step forward.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so at the end of the day, like the push out idea is to kind of encourage forward direction.
Yeah.
So it's there. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So that was our
It was a good
weekend.
tournament. I'm glad we did it, and
Nice way to
I think
close
it's
out the year.
June. June is going to be the trials.
Cool.
So there's still more qualifiers. Are you willing to say this on the podcast? Will you try it again?
I will try it again, Joe.
All right.
Yeah. We'll get out there. I'll go out there with Giuseppe. We'll find another one.
Yeah.
I'll sprawl
I'm in.
this time.
I'll be there. I'm in. Let's make it happen.
Do you know,
Can
do you
you-
know where it's
USA. USA.
USA.
If you here's another thing that you have to say on the podcast, and if you agree, you must do it. If you win one of these qualifiers, will you get a USA tattoo on your body?
100%.
USA. USA. I couldn't hear it, so I made the sound.
at? You were right.
That's huge, man. You said it.
I'll do it.
Because that's your first tattoo, right?
Yeah, I don't have any tattoos. Yeah.
USA.
man,
Where would
that's
you
a-
put it? On your butt?
No, I think like my right.
U.S.
Left eye.
So a U under one eye, an S on your nose. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you should do that then.
Shout out America.
Shout out America. Shout out Uncle Sam.
Shout out Uncles. Yeah.
I think you just get on your shoulder like a cool, like prison tat.
Can I get one of the USA grappling ones?
Yeah, sure.
Like all the college wrestlers do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Like that USA.
And you never make it to the
Wait,
world.
what? What? It's just
I bled for my country.
I cut weight for my country. I stole a banana nut muffin for my country.
My
All right.
country.
You did. You're a thief.
Oh man.
That's what America's all about.
Thievery.
That's what
We
America-
stole this land from the natives. All right.
I stole this muffin from
This isn't
the Holiday
Thanksgiving.
Inn.
This is Native Americans Day or
Oh,
whatever they call
speaking
it.
of, so tomorrow-
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Is that what it is? Right.
Indigenous Peoples Day.
That's what it is for some people, right?
Not for me. I'm Thanksgiving.
Or is that a
all
different
the-
holiday?
USA. Sorry, I'm gonna be doing that the whole time. I love a slow chant too. It's like almost like a slow clap.
Like it just came out of the crowd somewhere. Someone just heard a kid.
What? You. What? You. And it starts building. And then, born in the USA.
I was born.
I love it, man. I get so pumped up.
We're Americans, all right?
And I even said it out loud while the guy was talking to everyone. I was like, this is like Rocky IV. What he said,
if I could change, and you could change.
everybody change.
Very
I
funny.
really, yeah. If I get to go to Kazakhstan, I'm giving a speech no matter what.
Are you going to wear one of the Khabib hats?
No, I'm American.
No, but you're going to wear a
wearing
red, white, and blue one.
I'm wearing a top hat.
Yeah,
with
like
fucking-
Uncle Sam.
Yeah. I'm
Lincoln, baby.
dressing exactly like Apollo Creed.
Uh-huh.
Walking out throwing coins to the
Yep.
peasants. I'm in. Yeah, I just want to give that speech where it's all about uniting the world, man. I want the world to come together on this. I really believe I could do it.
If I could change.
Putin, I'm over here.
Please just finish those Ukrainians off or stop something. Come on.
Would you just
Come on
stop?
our podcast and talk. Let's talk about it.
And he rolls.
We can talk it out.
Let's
yeah.
roll. Let's roll.
We'll
and
do some
talk.
judo. We'll do some sambo.
What if
Let's
he was
just bring this to an end?
What if he was
Food.
hilarious? What if he's super funny? What if he
He's like,
loved the
U,
buttons too?
S, R.
This is great.
Yeah, we don't have these
They
buttons.
don't have these.
Das buttons.
Why am I even going to war?
And single-handedly keep it rolling.
Saved Ukraine.
Saved Ukraine, saved the world, save America.
Saving lives.
Zelensky, call us. We got a plan.
Oh, this is. We really didn't have a plan on what to talk about today, but this is great.
It went good.
I'm
Already?
feeling pretty comfortable in these.
Oh, yeah. Should we
studio.
mention? So wait, I have two things now. So let's do that. I do like this. If you guys notice, if you're watching the video, I'm gonna go check real quick. You guys keep
Oh, yeah,
talking.
that's a good idea because we don't have anybody back there. checking.
Awesome. So yeah, so we just got it. We set up a new studio here. So obviously you guys saw the 2 new tables that we have here. Obviously you guys can't even notice, but these tables, check out our setup here. We got our tables and they
That's
hold
beautiful.
our mics right in there. So we have a whole little setup studio. So we put these 2 together with much struggle, a little bit of struggle putting these 2 tables together. Then we also have
Which
these nice.
probably shouldn't have been that much of a
It wasn't too
struggle.
bad, but
But there was a big
I
struggle.
graduated high school with a 1.6 GPA, so they more let me out than graduated. We also have these beautiful black chairs, so you can sit in the black chair. If if black's not your color, you can sit in the green chair. We got 2
I'm loving the green.
beautiful green
I'm loving the
chairs.
green.
We also, if you come over this way, we have a mini version of our tables. This one only has 1 drawer, half the size, half the drawer space, but that's what we got. And then on this side, we also have our beautiful futon. Let me show you how this baby works right here. If you're over here, you need to lounge. Little lounge
yeah.
action.
we need some therapy.
Or
A little bit of therapy will lay you down. Boom. Maybe you want to sit next to someone and you want to lounge. We got options. It's all for you. In the RMA studio.
This is our studio.
Awesome. So yeah, we made a lot of improvements. Yeah, hopefully you guys like it. If you have any tips, suggestions, we really don't care because we like it how we like it. All right.
Oh God, this is not comfortable anymore.
Just lay down all the way.
Wait, hold on. Therapy.
Oh, there it is.
This is what I think of it as.
Joey, tell me about your childhood.
Oh man, you.
Yeah, we don't care.
You. Hey.
Dolph Lundgren. You
Lundgren.
took out my hero.
Yeah, it's cool. So I'm happy with it. I think this is a good setup. The goal with it was, number one, I really wanted the environment to be comforting, but also have a sleek look. I think before it was very comfort.
Right.
Too much comfort.
Lot of comfort.
I seriously, I feel more.
Professional.
Yes, seriously, in a chair, I feel more comfortable too doing what we're doing here. Yeah. So
I hope it looks good. I know it was cozy. The couch was great, but it was gross. It wasn't a great couch. It was old.
yeah, and a lot of sweaty people after open mat sitting on a nice
So I think
cloth
this
couch.
will be easy to clean. It'll just be
Yes,
nice, man.
yeah.
And we do have some plans. Nothing's official, but we're getting a sign to
What's it gonna say?
keep it rolling.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna be badass.
like
There's a cool idea that there's a sign. It's
Okay.
neon
All right.
and it just says belly.
Okay, I didn't.
Now,
wanna,
why would
I
it
didn't
say
wanna,
that?
I didn't want to ruin this for you, but that's purchased. We already
Good
got
man.
It.
Good man.
Oh, I
I
did not
bought-
know
we-
about. I didn't. Oh, I hope I
Dakota,
didn't ruin
she
anything.
spearheaded that. She bought it.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so there's a sign coming.
Good.
I don't know if you guys understand the joke though.
No, explain it to me. So it's a sign.
The sign
There's
that
a
says
sign.
belly,
Okay.
but it's a neon.
But why is
sign.
it neon though?
Neon belly?
But why does it say belly?
I don't get it either. I just think people. Someone finds it funny.
If
I
you
don't know
guys
why.
can figure this out in the comments, let us know why this
guess
neon
it's
belly
a
sign
jiu-jitsu
exists.
joke.
Yeah.
Neon belly. Yeah, so it's
It's a sign.
so that I don't. We're not putting that over here because that's you got to plug it in.
Okay.
So we'll probably put it over there, but it's kind of cute, and
Yeah,
funny.
it's
But I
hilarious.
really want to get a sign that is like our. It would just be cool. I think if it's in the shot,
Like old radio, background.
something. I don't know. Yeah. So we'll figure that out. But it is tomorrow. Is Thanksgiving.
Shout out everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
So, and I honestly like. It's not just about food for me. I love Thanksgiving.
yeah, it's a
I
good
always
one.
have. I've always felt like Thanksgiving is like a really a great, if you cut out all the history of it, like none of that really matters.
Oh, I was thinking the exact opposite. That's why I really like it.
I mean, it's kind of like
I just think
twisted,
about all
dark
those
history,
great
but-
things that we.
I mean, it's kind of fucked up, but that if you cut that out and you just embrace it as an opportunity to be grateful, and I really believe like my entire life philosophy is based on gratitude. Like it's the only thing that's keeping me going. I'm fueled by gratitude, legitimately. Like you're fueled by coffee.
Yep.
It's like coffee you're drinking right now.
Keeps me going.
He's drinking coffee right now, right?
I'm hooked. 10 at night. 10,
yeah,
coffee.
say what,
I
10?
drink gratitude. Like it's the only way that I can do what I'm doing. And there's a day of the year that's like called Thanksgiving.
Supposed to be thankful. Yeah.
And I hope that like people can bring that. It's like everyone sits around a dinner table, they eat a bunch of food, and like, oh, what are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? But imagine we just had to do that every day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a jiu-jitsu Thanksgiving. What are you grateful for? Jiu-jitsu. What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for this gym for sure. I mean, this has been a really great additional experience to my training and life and everything. So yeah, I appreciate you taking the jump to have this place. It's a
big jump.
Yeah, it's
Big
worked
risk.
out. You found something. So yeah,
Thanks, man.
yeah.
Jay,
Yeah, I mean,
happy Thanksgiving.
yeah, happy
What are you
Thanksgiving.
grateful for? Jiu-jitsu.
I think the community and just everybody that's in here and being able to find a place that accepts everybody. Like there's no hard-headedness in here, and so I'm really thankful for the community that we have and the roles that I get out of everybody and how much I've learned from each individual.
Awesome.
Joe,
Happy Thanksgiving.
if you don't say Dakota, she's gonna be
Wait.
pissed.
USA.
I'm thankful for Rocky.
Stallone.
All right, I'll let you answer.
I don't know. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, you guys said it. I mean, the community part of it is a big part of it. I have so much gratitude towards, when it comes to, when you say community, just every person that's involved in the school. And that's, even the people who aren't here anymore. Like there's people who, moved away. There's people who, had to, stop training as much, like some best friends of mine.
Had to join the Marines.
Speaking of, or like my buddies, like Rocco's got stuff in life.
Yep.
Tim's, these are my best friends, and I'm still so grateful for them. And I of course, I would legitimately pay money. I would love if I had enough money. I would pay their, whatever job they have.
Yep.
I would pay for them to just be here and train jiu-jitsu. I legitimately, if I was a millionaire.
I've heard you say it to Rocco multiple times.
Like
Yeah.
I did, if whatever money you're getting paid, I will pay you just to hang out and train jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
I just can't.
Yep.
Maybe someday.
yet.
Yeah.
We're
maybe-
working towards it, right?
If this
I think-
podcast takes off, USA.
U.S.
I mean, that's the
You can
American
make a
way.
donation
Yeah.
at RMA.com.
If you can pay
Which
our
we'll get
salary,
to that
so we can just hang
later.
out.
Remind me.
Okay.
But I really, man, I'm so grateful because none of this works without every single piece of the puzzle. Even the people, again, like people who aren't here, they're a big part of it, huge part of it. And I'm really grateful because Kyle said like you're grateful that we started the school. This is like it was so scary to do it, and like scary. I think people who start jiu-jitsu are scared. Starting the podcast was a little scary. Obviously not scary because like what's the worst that can happen? But
Yep.
like putting yourself out there,
Yeah.
it's scary to be like, we suck at it and like, what are we doing?
It's something actually like in terms of scary. It's not scary in the beginning. It's scary after you've done like 5, and then
I'm
you
like,
do that like
do we have to keep doing this?
or I think more like did I say something that pissed somebody off? Or like it's
Yeah.
just like those
Right.
Those
little things
are we
come
just
in
bad at
yeah,
it?
you
And,
know,
like if we're bad and people start like giving us some negative stuff, like it's
Kyle,
scary.
shut up.
Podcast is great.
USA. I'm just gonna keep going with it. It's I have so much gratitude towards everyone because I wouldn't have had the courage to do it if it wasn't for like Rocco at the time, Tim, you,
Yep.
Jay. Now, man, you're a big part of it. So I'm
Thank
very
you.
grateful for all of you guys. I really believe like I do this all the time in my own head. I have like a gratitude, basically like a meditation for myself
Yep.
on a daily basis. And I just think about it whenever I'm like really stressed out. that's what I go. I close my eyes and I start like, what do I have going on?
It is true.
And it helps me so
I know exactly
much.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just going down like a list of like just
What's good right now?
If you're having a
Right.
bad day, when you wake up, just find 5 things that you're like, thankful for them. Just say them to yourself, and in a weird way, you just feel better. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Everyone has it.
Yep.
Like there's no one in the world. I mean, there's some, I'm sure there are some people in the world, and that's very sad. But there are, if you live in this beautiful USA,
You got at least 5 things to be thankful for.
I mean, even if you just
There's
have
3 letters right there to be thankful for. USA.
I'm thankful for the U.
I'm thankful for the S. And I'm thankful for the A. That's America.
Fireworks.
That's the end of in the USA.
Oh man, I wish we could have put the soundboard on for like American songs. Next time.
That would have been a closeout.
For 4th of July,
Yeah.
we're gonna crush
We'll do a
it.
crazy
that's gonna be
one.
amazing. Yeah.
I'm gonna dress all up.
It'll just be 4 hours of us just going USA, USA.
Oh man. But yeah, no, everyone can find something to be grateful for. So like when you're at your worst moments or worst times, like, I mean, did you eat today? Did you have some water? Did you sleep? Did you have a bed?
Yep.
I mean, there's so much, and then it makes you think about what you can do to help other people and stuff. And I think about Steve. When I think about being grateful or being thankful, like man, like I can't even imagine being put into Steve's place because of I mean, me and Kyle, we train legitimately 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
And it requires, like, me and Kyle actually started and this is something I want to talk about a little bit, but we started training really hard this week.
Yep.
So after that tournament, we're like, hey, we're taking a break from competing, so we need to like train harder.
Amp it up.
Right?
Yep.
Like, so not training jiu-jitsu harder, but we need to like, now's the time to
Yes.
start eating a little bit more bigger to get bigger.
Yep.
And lifting. So like me and him started training all week long. We woke up early,
Yeah, you
5
guys are
a.m.
such-
You're waking up 4:30 a.m. to
Yep.
get here. We work out, or we train. We teach class, we train, and then we go right to lifting. And it's been good.
Yep.
3 days.
3 days.
We have not stopped. 3
We're
days.
in.
Yeah. I mean,
We're
3
consistent.
days.
Like only 4 more to create that habit. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what
yeah.
they say?
It's, I think it's like 22 days or something like that. But
I was only gonna do 20.
there's people that say 5, 7. So
I
think we're
do have to
somewhere
say, for me, I'm the type of person like I'll go 90, 120 days straight with something and then just drop it. Like I'm so the opposite. Like Joey talks about that with me with running. Over COVID, I ran every day like
phenomenal for
10,
4
15
months.
miles, and then just one day I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm
Legitimately,
total
you
Forrest
are-
Gump.
Stop
A
running
real life
now.
Forrest
Yeah.
Gump. I'm going home
I'm going
now.
home.
Where's my
now.
Gen A?
But if we train, we train 3 times a day. It requires so much physical activity. It requires us, we're limping around today.
Yeah.
What I mean is we're sore, and I'm just like, I love it. I'm so grateful, like the fact that I get to be sore.
Yeah.
I get to do these things, and I'm more motivated now than I've ever been in my life when it comes to that, because and I'll say thanks to Steve.
Yeah.
Like last night was, eye opening, and not that I didn't know it, but I got to be reminded. It's easy to forget that kind of stuff. And like,
Yeah, I guess.
Right.
I see him a little more than you do now. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, I really, just every
just
day I
be
can see
reminded
this.
of like, how lucky, how grateful I should be, and to this is stuff I'm sure we'll talk with Steve about.
It's just also that thing of like, we should definitely save a lot of this for Steve, but just like the ideas of, you don't see the other part of everyone else's day.
yeah.
And you just assume, their day had to be a little bit easier than mine because my day's been hard.
Yeah.
And it's like you have no idea. Everyone thinks their day was worse than
Yep.
everyone else's, and it's like that math doesn't work out really well,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just not even a good way to look at life if that's how you're looking at it.
Exactly. I always say it like this, like
Even if it's true.
Yes. So I look at life like all 7 billion of us were like on a boat that sank and we're all floating in the water, and someone's like over there going like, the waves are really rough, help me, and you're all like, we're all like
here.
floating in the water, and like, yeah, Johnny's getting eaten by a shark, but like I'm kind of sunburned, and like, we all got our struggles,
and
man.
if we all kind of do help a little bit, it's better.
Yes, instead of everyone just complaining,
Yeah.
right? You know?
Right.
And we all do
Yeah.
our thing, like we all start building and it gets
Yep.
better. But yeah, that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
That's an analogy. Good job.
Through
Well done.
yes.
We need more of those, by the way. I want you to start just throwing analogies.
Analogy alley.
But just getting weird with it. Yeah. So, I'm really just kind of rambling on about it, but it's I really hope that people, if tomorrow is Thanksgiving, we post this tomorrow, I'd like to try to get it out. And, I hope, if people listen over the weekend, is that if they are struggling on a day like that, where they are like, man, they don't feel like they're grateful for anything, or they, because people do have real problems. I'm not saying your problems aren't real. I'm just saying that, hopefully they can then also see it could always be worse. I know that's not the only way to look at it, but like, man, you have so much to be grateful for. And I feel that way even when shit is not going well.
You know what I would like then? Maybe over the weekend, we've been posting about questions for everybody. Maybe we'll do that as a post. Over this holiday weekend, share what you're thankful for. Maybe not just in terms of jiu-jitsu, and we'll repost it for you guys, or maybe we'll read it off during Steve's podcast or something like that. So
that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
You're good. You got some good ideas.
I try, man. I try.
You son of a bitch.
USA. Do you think we're so good because we're the only country that you can really do that with?
What do you mean?
I mean, it's got a nice, good chant to it. I mean, you can't just go France, France, Russia. Like they don't. Yeah, ours is nice. I get Australia.
I don't like it.
Mexico.
Boo.
Oh, wait a second.
Sorry, Perez.
Fucking baseball.
I can't win here.
Get off the podcast. Get off. Shoo. No.
I try not to pull guard.
You're better than me there. You do compete shirtless.
I guess I'm just biased.
Yeah.
I love the US of A.
You gotta love the stars. Stars and stripes, baby.
Stars and stripes from the Rio. Wait, what's the
Rio Grande? I guess that is. That is a southern. Yeah.
For the Mason Dixon, to
from the left to the right.
There to there.
Yeah. Manifest destiny.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful country. I think this is pretty much all we got for the show. I wanted to mention we did get our first subscriber, and I have no way of knowing who that is. But we started our
keep it hidden. I want you to stay. I want you to stay conspicuous. Stay out there.
Is it Jay?
Is it no?
What if it was?
Yeah, stay hidden.
What if it was you, Kyle?
You never know. You never know.
It could be me.
You never know.
I'm just watching what I put out. So we did start finally our subscription. All right, what would you call it? Subscriber-based content?
Just our, I would say exclusive content.
Exclusive.
Yeah, because we're going to try to
better.
put it on a lot of different platforms, and so you can't say which,
Yeah, exclusive. That sounds sexy too.
Yeah.
It's red carpet stuff right there.
If you want to get to know us a little more,
exclusivity.
Get to
USA. It's pretty cool. We want to do this. We want to have and the goal is not to make a bunch of money. I hope people understand that like all I've done is spend money. I spent so much money. This stuff ain't cheap. I bought this stuff. This is over $1,000. We renovated the entire room. All we've done is spend money. We've made nothing
with no hesitation.
And,
we just
I don't plan on making that back, because think about this. So just so everyone understands, this subscription is $2. I think it's $2. I think it's $2.99. So $3.
You money grabbing son of a.
It's $3. So if you Kyle, raise that cup up. What do you got there?
I got a Starbucks right here.
How much you pay for that?
It's probably 3 months worth of subscription right here, if we're honest.
And he buys that every morning when he comes in. So keep that in perspective. It's $3 a month. And we're going to put a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah.
That's my goal. We're going to do right now, all we have is our breakdowns. Mm-hmm. We just test ran it because we didn't know what we were doing. So we're just recording on the podcast and watching our footage and screen recording the footage so we can pause it, move it around. I'm sure there's a better method, but it seemed to work pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, for right now, do you guys know a better way? Let us know.
Let us know if there's a better way. And I'm sure there's probably apps for it where you can talk through. I don't know, but it worked pretty well. We're going to post that, and it's basically just rolling footage, like breakdown footage. I forget what we called it. I think we had a cool name for it, but
rolling review.
Rolling review. That's it. Rolling review, and
we're alliteration.
I know, we're so dumb.
Like the same letters.
Things just makes me happy.
Yep.
RR. It's gonna be cool. So if you enjoy, I do want. It was really neat. You remember yesterday? There's 2 guys. Was it 2 guys that came up to us at the seminar?
Yep.
Did you know that guy?
Zach, I met Zach before. Yeah,
Is he from the retreat?
he's come on the retreat before, and then I forget which gym he trains at. It's either Darby's or Billy's. I think
Okay.
maybe Billy's. Yeah.
Really nice gentlemen who both have watched every episode.
Yep.
So you know their name. Call them out, man.
Yeah, I
Shout 'em out.
remember Zach. I know Zach, and then I'm blanking on the other
Very
gentleman's
nice,
name who brought it
very
up.
nice
Yeah.
guys, and they're like they like the show and
That's
stuff.
awesome.
And I told them too. I was like, I would like it to be more valuable and legitimately like more valuable. And the only way, this is obviously anything I think can be valuable depending on how you're looking at it. And if you're having joy watching, just listening to us talk about USA, great, then it's valuable. But from a jiu-jitsu standpoint, I do believe that we have some stuff to give to people.
Yeah, I mean,
I have so much fun breaking things
you did
down.
yours, yeah, and I really did enjoy. I mean, I broke down like a minute and a half review of me and Kenny Rollin, and I really enjoyed
fun,
it.
right?
It was fun, and
And I think it would be good for us selfishly. I think we can learn a lot from like doing it. We can have it more fun too, where we can have them break it down and like talk shit and like have fun. So it could
how
be-
stupid this guy is.
you know what's so funny too? Like for those who've been listening to us talk about Dakota and like how funny, like if you know Dakota's she's great, she's adorable, we love it. But it's funny. I was telling her about the idea and I said like it's commentary, and so she listens to it. I'm like, listen, tell me what you think, and she listens to it. She's like, I don't know. I feel like you didn't do commentary. I was like, what do you mean? Like I broke down what I was doing. She's like, yeah, but you didn't say anything about what they were doing. I was like, wait a second. So you want me to go into Kenny's mind and tell you what Kenny was thinking? I was blown away. She's like, but it's commentary. Like Joe Rogan, if he's doing commentary,
He's doing both sides.
He says both sides. I was like,
Joe Rogan's
interesting.
not in the
So
video.
Are you telling me you want me to just like, okay, now I'm grabbing this, Kenny's grabbing that. Like, it's not commentary. I guess the commentary is an interesting word. It's not commentary. It's like a breakdown.
Yeah,
Right.
From my point of view.
Yeah, I really do. It's a review
I
from
thought
your.
I thought that was adorable. I was like, wow, that blew my mind that's how she thought of like
Yeah, it's an
commentary.
interesting
outlook.
Was I was supposed to just break down like a play-by-play analyst? Yeah, but
Dakota does have a good outside perspective. Where
She
you and me
does.
always like, I didn't.
interesting. I never thought of it that
Interesting,
way. Which I think that's the best thing about talking to people. I love hearing everyone's different perspectives. So if you have an idea for us, please send it in. Every podcast, for anyone who listens to this on Spotify, if you're not listening on YouTube or something on Spotify, you can always go to the comments, right?
Yep.
You can write a comment, send it to
Right.
us, and we read it.
Yeah, we take questions, we take comments,
Yeah.
we do not take concerns. So just laying it out there.
You. I don't care if you don't like this chant.
I'm doing it every time.
If you have a comment, send it my way. If you have a
Please.
concern, shut your mouth.
Shut it up. I tell the kids that all the time. Questions,
that.
comments, I don't care about your concerns. Yeah,
And they just like stare at you.
yeah,
like,
they
what?
don't even know. What? Sir.
I'm not supposed to say that.
I have to go to the bathroom.
I'm doing like long form stand up jokes. And they're like, what? Sir.
I have to pee. But this I think will be really cool. It's again, it's only like $3. That's like half a Starbucks.
It's already went up 50%.
Should it go up?
No, you just said it was $2 the first time,
I?
and then it went up to $3.
It was like
It's
$2.99.
$10.99.
I round up.
That reminds me of my favorite joke.
Okay, it's
So it's about
$5.
about $3.50.
It's one of Jeff's favorite jokes.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I won't go
This is a
into
little- yeah.
I won't go into any sort of stereotype. But it's just
Okay.
like, yeah, a daughter goes up to her dad. She's like, Dad, I need $50 for a prom dress, and he's like, $25. What do you need $10 for? That's crazy.
Yeah, we do. This is the reverse version though.
Yeah,
It's only going to
going up a
cost you
little bit.
99
subscribers
cents.
is only $2. So if you pay your $3, by the end you're only going to have $5
only
less in
gonna
your
lose-
account.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. So and I hope it can grow. It can grow more, and we can make it something valuable.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, I think the main thing we're saying is whatever you guys want to see, we'll make it available to you.
And maybe we can make even like a poll on what would be cool. So we have that rolling review.
Yep. We could also
We
do
could do
technique
matches.
breakdowns. We could do match breakdowns.
You can even send in your match if you're paying $3. Send me a match. I'll break it down.
Send me.
I'm not saying it's gonna be good. I might just chant USA. the whole time, and that, you know, for 10 minutes, I don't care. I'll do it for you for $3.
For $3.
For $3.
Hey.
But like, if you want us to break down a match, you know, if you're like, hey, this is an exciting match we had, and like, I'd love that.
Send us in a video of you asking a question with a move. Hey, I'm
Anything,
doing
man.
this move. I'm
You
struggling
name-
with
we're,
it.
We're kind of at your service.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, we work for you. Now.
I mean, that's what I would say. Yeah, that's what I would look at it
I'm
as. If,
cheap, man. $3 is $3.
if you subscribe, we're willing to, you know, do.
Kyle will get a tattoo
Hey.
on his body.
But so yeah, we're gonna try to put out what we think you might like, just to give you guys some ideas. But
Yeah.
then, you know, give us some feedback.
I'd
It'll
love
make it
it.
a lot easier.
Jay, do you have any ideas for us? What else can we do
Nothing
for
off the
content?
top of my head. Nothing that's.
Oh, should there be videos of me and Joey singing "Born in the USA"? I was-
Hey. I mean, we could do a couple different slow chants if you want. I don't know. It's the only one I'm good at.
Yeah.
Only one I practice is a USA. Yeah, I think I think it'll be valuable. So something to look forward to. It'll keep growing. We're gonna post some more of them. I have a plan for us to do it weekly. For us to do the, you know, break it down weekly.
Well, I mean, I think the way we've been,
We can do it a bunch.
we can do a bunch every
So
week.
right
yeah,
now
so
we
we're gonna-
have a little bit of footage from almost every guest,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And if we don't have it, we can be like, hey, let's roll real quick and we'll film it. But then as a regular routine idea is like any guest, we'll film him and then we'll post that
Yeah.
when we post theirs.
Mm.
So it's like if you would listen to it and like we talk about the role, hey, you want to watch it?
It's out there.
$3.
Yep.
Better pay
$3.99.
that $3.
And if you
That's
cancel,
$7, isn't
don't
that
ever
much?
come back.
I'm grateful for your $3.
If you cancel, I ain't grateful. I'm sending
Well,
you $3
you know,
back.
Yeah, you don't get a return. There's no return on this investment. This is an investment strategy. Yeah, you don't get a return on this, except for some quality footage.
Quality stuff.
Yeah. So all right, I think this is it, man. You know, we're an hour and a half. I don't want to go any longer than this. This was supposed to be like a 30-minute podcast.
Right. It was a really quick one.
I'm
I
glad
guess.
you jumped in with us, Jay.
I'm glad
Thanks
you
for being
asked,
here, Jay.
I hope
I know
you didn't feel like
I
you-
didn't input too much.
No,
That's
it's
fine,
cool, man.
you know, I was-
Do you have anything else you want to say, buddy?
no, nothing. Well, rolling
Hey,
tonight, I got to roll with Marco.
wait a second.
What's up? Oh, yeah.
What did we miss? It was your birthday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What were you
I thought
gonna say?
I thought you were talking about my mustache. Like I had to reshave the other day because it was going
He
back
was all
too
excited
much.
about his mustache.
I figured
No,
fucking
dude, it was your birthday, man.
Yeah, two days ago.
So, you know, and this is something that I'm very passionate about. When I have someone in my life who spends their birthday training, you go up so high in my value of like, you are great, you know, you're a good person.
Yep.
And it's not you're a bad, you know, anyone who trains jiu-jitsu and you don't train on your birthday, I don't look down at you at all.
That much.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I just also
But you
don't
miss an
respect you
opportunity.
because you know there's something special about it because it says something about your character, and it's not that, you know, if you like to party, you like to drink, whatever. People like to do stuff, and I'm not going
Right.
to judge you. I will judge you, but I'm not going to condemn you. You're still a good person. You're still a great person. You have much value, but man, like.
You're
there's
not in the
something-
exclusive group.
yeah, there's a
a group.
special. It's a special type of person who comes here on your birthday
Yeah.
and comes sweats it out. So happy 40th birthday!
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Should we do a cheer or something? Is that cheer?
4 centuries. Yep.
Maybe we should have to sing to the music. Happy birthday to you. With the music playing the whole time.
Yeah, no, happy birthday, buddy. And it was really special. He came in. He got to help teach class with his little kid,
Yes.
his youngest.
Yes. At 5 o'clock, I got to hang out with Killian and roll with him a little bit. So that was very special. I got to coach him. And then took the 6 o'clock striking class off. But my older son, Jaden, came in for the 7 o'clock class, which was amazing.
Which was a return, right? He hasn't trained in
Yeah,
a
he
while.
hasn't trained in a little bit.
Was that a birthday gift where you're like, hey, man, it's my birthday?
I pulled the old, hey
man.
sorry, son, I'm pulling the birthday card on you on this one. Like,
That's awesome.
Good for you, man.
Can you come in? You know, like I don't want much for my birthday.
And he did awesome, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh my God. And that's the thing.
Did he have fun?
Yes.
Good.
And I think
That's all that matters.
I think he caught the bug again. So
Cool.
he's like, you know what? I think I can do Mondays again, Dad. So I don't want to push him to like do too much. So if he does just the Mondays for right now for a little bit, and you know, gets comfortable with it again.
Yeah, he's going to be a
then
monster.
The itch will become itchier.
The itch will become a
coming.
disease.
I honestly, since he had some time off, and I've been rolling pretty consistent. I feel like I'm doing really well. I have a couple of
Well, now
competitions
you're like
under my belt.
you're like legitimately. You're not. I know it sounds weird, but you're not like equal with him anymore. You guys started together. You were
Right.
brand new.
Yep.
He's brand new.
And we were both like, after we go to our break, we look at each other like, what the fuck
What
are we
the hell
supposed
is
to do?
that?
We're, like, looking
And now
around,
you're
like
legit
and so I
high
can help him a
level.
little
You're
bit.
you're a blue belt level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In my mind, you're got the
Thank you.
level
I
of like,
appreciate it,
especially
yeah.
your understanding.
100%.
So I think it's probably much more interesting for you to
and
be
and it's a lot more fun now that I
partner.
can like explain to him a little bit more, and he seems a little bit more receptive. Like, okay,
Cool.
dad does know what he's talking about. It's not just the two of us like not
Before,
and
he's
then me
like, I
trying
have
to
to
tell him
respect
something,
you, but
and he's
you
like
don't know
looking
what
at me
you're
like,
Dad, I'm
Dad,
just saying. Yeah.
I don't think
Dad,
you
I
heard that
tapped
right,
you out
Dad.
4 times today. Why are you trying to tell me what to do?
I thought because we were doing a little bit more live rolling, not live, I shouldn't say it was live, but a little bit more drilling than
Yeah.
we do in most classes.
Why is that? Because of the
'cause it's-
integration?
Yeah, the integration week. So we got to do some hand fighting. We got to like starting like just both seated, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I got this. I know more techniques. I can. Nope, this kid.
Yeah, he's still an athlete, right?
Still
Super
young.
athletic,
Yep.
just
And,
moving
you know,
around. And I'm
by
like,
the way,
oh,
Jay
man.
turned 40. So, I think overnight you probably felt old. So, I mean, went from like young man.
You need
dad,
a knee
'cause-
replacement
'cause-
immediately.
And that's funny that you say that because that Sunday, the day before
Yeah,
my
you
birthday,
got
I got
whacked.
bumped in my knee. Like hit hard, and I forget who the guy was, but he was somebody that's
a 40-year-old bruise right
Yeah,
there.
it-
My
And I'm
knee
like,
still feel. I
I'm
hit
not
my
gonna be-
knee, man. My knee still feeling it from just like straight impact
Yeah.
on it. I'll like put it on the ground and be like, oh jeez, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like any bending of my knee the next day, I was like, oh yeah, I look 40 right now. Like
That's awesome.
I look 40 already with my grades, but
feel
like
40.
I feel 40 now.
Yeah, man. Well, happy birthday, 40-year-old. I'm glad you got to spend that with your kids on the mat. Super cool. Yeah, man, it's awesome. Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Happy
Was there
birthday,
something
Jay.
else you were going to say, though? The mustache.
Oh, it's the mustache, yeah. Like I had to reshave the mustache.
We're keeping the mustaches.
Yeah, so we have one more week,
Yep.
and then I'm done with the mustache. I don't know.
I'm not done with the
not-
mustache. I'm gonna keep it for a little bit.
I love my beard, so I'm growing the beard back out as soon as I can.
Well,
I
I'm
mean, it's
just-
already growing out, but
Yeah, I'm just gonna let my beard grow, but the next time I shave the beard, the mustache will.
I'm thinking I'm gonna
Come
keep
back.
a little twirl. So
I do
might
like my
let this
twirl.
stay
If you see
thicker
this, everyone's
as-
looking. I got a nice twirl
Yeah,
going,
Joey's got a nice little.
but only one side. This side droops down. So
You got
it's
a nice
little
pirate
disappointing.
stash going.
But it's okay. We're living.
USA. Well, I think we gotta do it like this. So I think we gotta.
You say you. You
Congratulations,
say
Steve.
S. I say A.
Let's you
S
A.
you
S.
A.
you.
Okay, I'm in. I like that.
All right, so
I thought that's what you were gonna do.
great job, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations
Little
on your purple
recap.
belt. Great job, Joey and Ian and Johnny out at the
Great job to Kyle
USA
as well, buddy.
Grappling.
Did great.
Awesome. Yeah, we really great
lose, or
turnout
draw.
out there. Great job for everybody who competed all year. We have one more competition December 16th
big
for the
one.
team.
That's a fun one.
We're looking to take them a team gold
Can
there.
I say
so-
one more thing
Yeah,
about
please.
that? So, Kenny is kind of taking on a leadership role for this tournament. He's like really pumped.
Good.
Yeah.
And like every once in a while, did you read any of the messages in the group?
Not today.
yeah,
I
so
didn't.
he-
I'm a little behind.
He got. Did you read it?
No.
So he was just trying to rally people up because he just
Uh-huh.
it's like the holiday kind of week. It
Yep.
was a very light week. Less people training. 6 a.m. this morning was awesome, but
Yep.
like just in general it was a lighter week.
Starting to
And
get cold. Yeah.
It's just cold and it's Thanksgiving, right? So everyone's kind of being lazy, but I could feel him like. He's like, we gotta push it, guys.
Good.
He's like trying to amp everyone up. So this is December 16th. We have a good group of people already signed up, and obviously most people haven't signed up yet. So let's make sure we get this for Kenny. Kenny's
Awesome.
like he's determined to get
Yeah,
a
he is.
first place for the team.
Awesome. Let's get first place for the team, and let's also get first place for USA. USA. We will see all you guys next week. Thank you for keep it rolling, USA.
Hey.